Okay, everybody, here we go. Whatever. I have pages of stuff all over my lovely, disgusting desk here. We have so much to cover. Post market wrap up. Are you ready? Because I'm going to get the date right now. Wednesday, January 31st, 2024. Yeah, I did say 23 earlier. I was just like kind of hyped up. It just kind of came out of my mouth, whatever. But that's just life in the big city here, people. So, let's forget about the ultimate freak show of freak shows. Okay. We're going to talk about that. Don't you even worry about that. Let's talk about what you and I really should be focusing on right now. And we're seeing a phenomenon occur just like we knew it would. I love it when things go like this. The 10-year yield, 3.95. I just checked it. Do you realize we're at 4.17 on Friday? Despite the fact, and think about this, despite the fact that creature Powell, puking, vomitous mass that he is, I can't stand looking at it. I can't stand listening to it. And the freaking freaks in the audience over there asking their questions, sir, can I ask you a question? All right, look, let me calm down a moment here. So, we're at war. Let's just establish that. The United States is at war. This is not a kinetic action. They don't even call it that. It's not an intervention. It's war. Okay. We all knew about this, how it was going to play out. We called these things before it happened. The Yemen attacks. You remember that? Imminent, I said, that day we hit Yemen. Okay. What the market is pricing in right now is, well, exactly what the creature, it also puke vomitous mass sitting behind the Resolute desk has already promised us a big event. Oh, it's going to be huge. It was his decision now. It's his decision to hit Iranian targets here, whatever. Okay. Market's pricing that in. There's an adage on Wall Street. Okay. The debt market is always right. Why do you think Greg Mannarino, and I know all of you, all right, follow the debt market like we do? Because you see, everyone is focused like this, looking at the Dow. It's the Dow, 30 companies. We don't give a damn about the Dow. Jeffrey, thank you. Yeah, exactly. It is a war economy. That's a fact. It's always been that way, but it's in our face right now. Anyway, you and I understand that we, you and I, Jeffrey, everybody here, Magic Mika, Lava, Joe, all my friends here, we are focusing on the drivers of this market. The number one driver, bar none, period, the freaking end, stop, is the debt market. And then, of course, the dollar, which is a unit of debt, as we all know, henceforth why it's kind of nicely packaged up in the Mannarino Market Risk Indicator, MMRI, free to everyone, which came down substantially. All right. So what we're seeing here is a movement of cash into the perceived safety of debt. Does that sound familiar to you? Because we've only been talking about this like every freaking day now. Okay. So right now, that's what's happening. The debt market, which is always right, is pricing in more war. All right. It's as clear as it can be to me. Liam, thank you. Wow. Love back, right back at you. Anyway. So yeah, look, and it makes, you know what gets this guy, really, I laugh, and you probably laugh too. You're sitting there like today watching the market, and the market's falling under pressure after creature thing, vomitous mass Powell said, okay, you know what, we're going to hold off a little bit. We're not going to get a rate cut till, I don't know, probably after March, or the market started to sell off. Look, this market has gone straight up. We've had record high. I want to vomit all over the place. Okay, we don't drop. We don't get a pullback. The market drops a little bit today. And people are crying, the little babies sucking their freaking thumbs. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be freaking kidding me. Buy the dips. Look at this smart man. Steve, dude, thank you. Thank you for saying that. All right. Everyone here knows what Greg Mannarino is intending on doing. Okay. I'm going to show you something. All right. This is really, really important. I'm going to write this down. This is how important it is. Ready? Are you ready for this one? 3 words. Actually, it's 2 words, one repeated. We are going to continue to buy this market. We're going to get longer the stock market. You ready? As long as we see exactly what we're seeing now, 10-year yield falling. Okay, well, all that does, as you are well aware of, if you follow this blog, is it opens up a lovely doorway for cash to make its way into the stock market. So when you see the market fall on a day like today, and we're probably not done here. All right, this market needs to give some back. Again, you watch the freaks, and they're panicking, and they're having a little heart palpitations, watching the market fall. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! It's over. But they don't think that they should be looking maybe at the 10-year yield, which dropped, despite the fact that Powell said he wasn't be cutting rates for a while. So I wonder why it's falling. You don't got to be a rocket scientist, because you and I call this before it happened. Makes me laugh, man. It really just makes me freaking laugh. So anyway, right, Joe, you got it. We all got it, man. We all got this. It's crazy. Yes, Jeff, it's a good for you too. Anyway, so let's talk. Let's back up a moment. All right. No, hold on a minute. Let's just go back here to the market. So yes, major indexes, they fell into some pressure. 10-year yield, I mean, it's fallen through the freaking floor, as you and I would expect it to do, as we are now moving further into a war stance. We are at war, period, the freaking end, and that's it. The Middle East is going to be lit up, as again, and again, don't think this is not going to go without a response here, as I covered earlier. Something is going to happen here. All right. Any nation's ability to force their will, okay, on another nation resides in one thing. It's war powers. Okay. Now we got Russia, you got China, big key components here of the BRICS nation, for which President Thing, it's his decision, is going to now hit Iranian targets over there. Again, this is a message. It's a direct message to BRIC nations: don't threaten the petrodollar. They're not going to take this lightly. Okay, they're not going to take this lightly. Iran is counting on that too. But you see, no one knows this is going on except people that follow this blog for the most part. I think a lot of people are starting to understand, but most people have no idea what you tell people BRICS nations. They think you're talking about building blocks or something. They have no idea what's going on. Being kept in the dark by design here. This whole entire thing is a psyop on an unprecedented scale, keeping people dumbed down, and then keeping people under pressure, not allowing them to understand what's actually going on. So today, just for example, on the economic front here, this private sector payrolls thing missed the mark by a huge. Okay, we got 107,000 jobs that were added. They were expecting 150,000. I would call that missing it by like a mile, 10 miles here. And then at the same time, if you listen to it speak today, Powell, he's talking about how the Fed economy is expanding at a moderate pace. We'll get to that in a moment. And the jobs gains are strong. I guess he didn't see the memo from this morning. I guess he doesn't want to admit that people are being laid off by the thousands and thousands and tens of thousands per month. No, you can't know that. It's interesting, isn't it? Why is it, in your opinion, that not one of those things in the audience, and every one of them is a thing, okay? Ask him a question about that. No questions at all. And then when he's talking about the economy growing and all he repeated about the GDP, how come it wasn't followed up by one person in the audience saying, hold on a minute, sir, let's put on the brakes for a moment here. How about spending on this war machine? How about funding for this war and that war and everything else here? Is that not, sir, added into GDP? Oh, yes, it is. Duh. But again, no real questions are asked. It's a show. It's a theater, like everything else that we're in right now. It's a crazy situation here. So no surprise. I'm not even, obviously common knowledge. The federal funds rate was unchanged. This was just writing stuff down here. Stuff he talked about. Job gains are strong. How about no? Economy is expanding. How about no? Again, doesn't talk about massive job cuts or anything else. It's impossible to do. Again, you and I. Well, this is what I want to know. Okay, maybe one of you out here who's way smarter than me, which is every single one of you here. That's the truth. Can someone explain to me? So the Federal Reserve has allowed or caused inflation to skyrocket, along with other central banks around the world. How is it that these same institutions, like Powell today, all he did was to repeat, how the Federal Reserve's mandate price stability, which they've obviously, that's got blown out of the water, right, Dupsy Daisy? Exactly. And jobs creation. They have defaulted on their mandates. So why is it that, I don't know, why is it that you got the freak, and I mean freak, Elizabeth Warren with her crusade against Bitcoin and her calling for rate cuts from the Federal Reserve? Okay, why isn't she taking the Federal Reserve on right now, saying, hold on a minute, why is it that you have these mandates and you're not, this is default of contract. This is obviously a breach of contract here. We need to take back the system. No, but she doesn't want you in Bitcoin. She doesn't want you in gold. She doesn't want you in silver. She wants you in those Federal Reserve notes like they all do. Okay? Period. The freaking end, because they all work for the same institution, but you can't know that. Make this stuff up, people. Make it up. Let's go down the line here. Oh yeah, Powell. We will return to 2%. So we're supposed to trust this institution who wants to continue to inflate anyway. They're telling us they want to maintain at 2%. They want to inflate 2% every year. 2%. Add that up and see how beautiful that turns out to be. And the touting of the GDP number. Nobody questions it at all. It's just crazy. Completely detached from reality. Inflation has eased. That's something else he was saying repeatedly. Inflation has not eased. Inflation continues to rise. Let's use their own numbers. He touted that too. The personal consumption expenditures up year over year. We're still rising. What was it? 3.9, 3 point something, or I don't even remember it. Can't even make it up. It just drives me crazy when I have to sit here and listen to that. So I wrote, Fed can do a lot of talking, but they still want to inflate at 2% a year. We're supposed to trust. How many of you trust that the Federal Reserve is capable of bringing inflation down, which they have no intention of doing anyway? They want to continue to inflate because that's a central bank's single power, their ability to inflate. The more they inflate, the stronger they become. But you see, no one's going to tell you that. Elizabeth Warren ain't going to tell you that. No one running for president is going to tell you that either. Nobody running for president is going to tell you that. No, they're not. Can't make it up. You can't freaking do it. Anyway, look, going back to the market real quick. Gold flat today, silver under some pressure. Crude oil got hit pretty good. That's going to turn around, of course. But you see, you have to understand too, this is a selection cycle. And, there's games that are being played here with regard to keeping crude lower in this environment, because higher crude oil, higher energy prices don't look too good for the creature. You know who the creature is? Yeah, sitting behind the Resolute desk. I think we're pretty much on that too. Anyway, that's a whole other situation, but I think you were all pretty clear on that. Anyway, the dollar got a little knee-jerk higher towards the end of the day. That's fear. Cash pouring into the perceived safety of debt, just as you and I imagined it would. But again, as long as that mechanism is in place, you and I are going to laugh. We're going to sit back and we're going to get longer of the stock market, okay? Because the faster this market free falls and the more people that are murdered, okay, in the name of freedom, really, the higher this damn market's going to go. It's until we start to see a sell-off in the debt market, while everyone's focusing on the Dow Jones Industrial Average, you and I are looking at as drivers. Imagine that. Anyway, people, anything specific that you guys, did I cover everything I wanted to talk about? I think so. I can't even read half of the stuff I write anyway. I'm just, as I'm sitting here throughout the day, I'm just writing stuff down that pops into my head. Just be ready for anything, as I always tell you. Always have the high ground. Always envision a worst case scenario and prepare for it. Okay, if it doesn't happen, you're way ahead of the game. Anyway, you understand? But we are clearly marching into a worst case scenario. It's being set up that way. And the world population is being dragged by the book. I mean, they are following step. Why do you think you and I can sit here and call things before they happen? And then they happen and we're not even shocked about it because we knew it was going to happen. Because it's the same playbook. It's what they do every single time they want to bring the world into war. They got to sell this. I told you from months ago this was going on. The Pentagon in their huddle with the Federal Reserve and the creature behind the Resolute that's trying to figure out how they're going to sell another war. You see, the reason why there couldn't be an immediate response to the apparent U.S. service people that were killed here, and a whole bunch of them that were mean, because they don't want you to know that this was already all planned out. It was every bit of it. All right, they know all they got to do is just go. Has nothing to do with the thing telling you that he's decided what action needs to be taken. See, he knows what action needs. If you put a map in front of that guy, a world map, he couldn't even point to where Iran is. That's fact. Or anything else. People, come on, man. It's so freaking obvious. So obvious. It's unbelievable. Anyway, before I let you all go, anything specific you want to talk about before I let you go? Anyone, anything? Sell, buy. We know what we're going to do, people. Look, we're going to continue our plan, and we're never going to waver from this. Betting against the debt, becoming our own central bank, holding hard assets. Silver, my favorite asset of all time. I can't say it's never going to change, but for the foreseeable future, and I mean for the foreseeable future, there's no way that this stuff here is going to achieve any kind of actual. The price is so amazingly, unbelievably suppressed. So is gold. Okay, we're going to get to a parity. Mark my words on this, because I can't wait for this to happen one day, and it's going to. And you're gonna say, "Wow, Greg Mannarino has been telling you this for 10 freaking years." We're going to get a parity between the Dow Jones Industrial Average and gold, a 1-to-1 ratio between the Dow. The Dow is in la la land beyond la la land. Yes, and I'm still getting along this market, understanding that, because this is a game. There's no price discovery here. Nothing is real whatsoever. We are playing a game. You all know that it is very real, but it is a game that has been played on the people of the world since the beginning of freaking time, and we're just taking advantage of it. That's all we are doing, because we're smart, okay? Because we're smart. Instead of laying down here like a sheep and getting sheared, because that's what they want you to do. They want you to surrender. They want you to throw your hands up and surrender and become a slave to the system. What we're doing here is taking their twisted system, turning the tables on it, and weaponizing it against them. Let them play their games. For how many years have I been telling you that? We're going to continue to play ours. This is the resistance. This is where it starts, and it starts with education. All right, we got to educate ourselves, and I think all of us here get it. Anyway, that is it. No, Satan is not a god. Okay, there are no other gods. There is one, and I will not say he's. And there is no way God Almighty is going to allow some fictitious figure that was created out of the fear of men. God is going to defer some kind of power onto a being like that. There's going to be some great conflict between God the Almighty, all powerful, and some thing with a long red tail. It ain't happened. It's a fairy tale. Okay, there is one God. Period. The end. And it ain't Satan. I can tell you that. I don't know the best way to test silver. That's a really good question. I would say this. Utilize a source that you trust here. Okay. I don't like to. All right, look, I'll just come out and say it. I've been buying silver from APMEX, American Precious Metals Exchange, for a very, very, very long time. I've never had a problem with these people once, ever. I bought silver from them, gold from them, platinum, palladium from them, other collectible things from this place. They've always done the right thing for me. Now, I don't get paid for this. This is not an advertisement or anything like that. I've used other places too, but this is the place where I've bought most of my I would say a good portion of it, maybe 70% of my stash of gold, silver, platinum, palladium, and I trust them. Like I said, I've never had a problem with these people, not once. And I'm sure there's a lot of other places out there that sell this stuff. To do your own research here. I wouldn't be buying this stuff from some fly-by-night organization here, because you could get duped. And that's another thing. More than likely, stick to the smaller denominations of all this stuff, gold, silver. You're going to get the big bars of this stuff here. You're more apt to run into a problem here, tungsten filled or whatever it might be. So just, stick to the smaller denominations. And again, look, in a worst case scenario, if you have to barter with this stuff or use it as real money, because it is, it's amazing why people, it's so sick to me why people don't transact on a regular basis with gold, silver, platinum, and or palladium too. I would gladly do that. Someone wants to buy assets from me, whatever it might be, I would gladly take gold, silver, platinum, and palladium for it. I mean, the period end. But again, you got our politicians who are totally against that. They want you in Federal Reserve notes and nothing else. You understand? It's an amazing thing that we have no representation anymore. And this has been going on for quite a long time. And unfortunately, that's the way it is. If people could just circumvent the system, and we could do it. Do you realize that we could do it? I mean, we could end central banking. You know this already. I've told all of you the key here. The key, if we understand the Achilles heel of a central bank, and it's only one thing, it's their ability to issue debt. If we could prevent one central bank, let's just pick the Federal Reserve. If we could stop the Federal Reserve from issuing one single dollar, just one, of debt, the central bank collapses. It would start a domino effect around the world, and the central banking system, or should I say cartel, this perversion, okay, to the world, and they are the enemy. We could take the system down. We could take the entire banking system down too. I've told you this already. If we all went out and withdrew our cash from these institutions, they would be runs on these banks. They would shut down. We have the power to do that, but they won't allow us to know that. They're going to keep us divided by everything they can think about: race, religion, skin color, whatever it might be they can throw at you, age. I'm sure you can come up with a half a dozen more things. Okay. They won't allow us to come together. They don't even want you to, they don't want groups of people together. They don't want this. Okay. Henceforth, where they want to lock you up, they want to lock you down. That's coming again too. Just make no mistake about it. We will get locked down by some mysterious thing, and then some other miracle cure that's going to wipe out a large bunch of people, of course, is going to be instituted, and people are going to run and go get it. They got to run and go get it because they've been indoctrinated. You all know that. Indoctrinated. Not you and me. Not you and not me. People, this guy right here loves you a lot. I mean that from the heart. We got this. We're doing really well here. I want to thank you for your support, your love, your friendship. Those thumbs up here. I know we can do better than that with 1,500, almost 1,600 people here. Let's get this out there. Get it out there. Okay. I count on all of you to share this stuff, to comment, to start thinking. All of you have your brains engaged. It seems simple to you and me. It really does. The people that follow this blog here, they're fully engaged in this. And again, look, if I come out here and I say something that doesn't jive with you, I would say, number one, do a little research on it. And if I got it wrong, let me know. I am I'm more than happy to learn something new. It's really the truth. Fear. Yes. Fear is a mind control mechanism on an unprecedented scale. You can make people afraid of one thing and then you control everything else in their life. And that's what they do here. This isn't a channel for people that are afraid. Okay. This is a channel for people who want to raise their awareness. Absolutely. And some of it may seem scary, but what you and I are doing, saying, okay, this is what's being set up here. What are we going to do about it? That's really what this whole freaking thing is about. That's it. I'm not here, just to talk because I like to hear myself. Hell freaking no. I'm getting a headache. Maybe I'm going to stroke out. Don't be afraid of a damn thing. It's so sad that people are so fearful, but that's what the system does to them. It makes them fearful. It causes them to be afraid of things. Fear this, fear that. No, absolutely not. Anyway, yes, Magic Mika, we do have the power. We have all the power. But what they're doing here is exactly what you and I said they were going to do. They're creating dependency. They are creating slaves to the system. And people just go right along with it because, again, they have no choice at that point. Once they become slaves to the current system, they become dependent on it, and they have to support the system even though it's perverted and twisted and sick. And then they just surrender. This is what they're trying to do. They're trying to get people to surrender. We're not surrendering. We will never surrender. Never. Anyway, all right, look, I am out of here. Long video. Thank you all for being here. I will see you in the morning. Again, what they do, whatever they want to do, and we have a lot more coming down the pike here. a lot more stuff coming down the pike. Whatever they do to us, we are going to counter strategize against that. But the beauty of this is we're already doing it. I don't care what they throw at us. Again, we're in the right spots here, understanding the system, how cash flows through the system, looking at the things like the 10-year yield, understanding what you're seeing, what the market is preparing for, what the world is being set up for. This is a game. Okay, and war generates more cash for these corporations than any other endeavor on the world, on this earth or off this earth. It also generates more need for borrowed dollars than anything else. And the system right now is drying up. Liquidity is drying up. It's a perpetual vacuum. You all know that the only way they can keep it going, as the Fed is literally pulling cash out of the system, you know this, we've talked about it a million times, is to expand war. Do you think, again, people, it's a coincidence here? Do you think it's a coincidence that the Federal Reserve's repo emergency operations here is being scaled back? Actually, you know that the emergency lending facility that the Federal Reserve has just hit a record high. Banks, they're insolvent. They fear bank runs more than anything else. Meanwhile, they're going on right now. People are pulling their cash out of these institutions faster than ever, but you're not allowed to know it. So I'm telling you, people, you know what I'm saying? I think you and I have done an amazing job at getting ourselves and each other, okay, in the right spots here. I really believe that with all I got. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. I could go on and on. We could go on for 24 freaking hours here. Isn't it amazing how you see Taylor Swift on the front page of every single financial, her and her boyfriend, how their relationship is worth $331 million. Do you really give a damn? I don't give a freaking damn either. But again, it's part of the deception, distraction. Look over here. Look at Taylor Swift, and she's a billionaire. And you can't even make ends meet here, but that's okay. You can't make it up. You can't do it if you try to. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. All right, I'm out of here. Exactly. Who freaking cares? I love you. I love all of you so much. I really, really do. We are a family. We're a worldwide family, and nothing's going to ever stop that. Nothing. Nothing at all. That's it. Yeah, exactly. Who is she? Yeah. They want you to know who she is, but really, I couldn't give a damn about her. I don't even know not one song that it sings. I know I'm going to take heat for the last time I even said something that may have been taken negative about Taylor Swift, whatever the thing and name it is. I got attacked. I got attacked for that. You're going to attack me first because I don't know a Taylor Swift song? But maybe you don't belong here then. I don't know what to tell you. All right, look, I'm out of here. I'll see you in the morning. Seriously.